Talk to a comedian. How to Become a Comedian blogcast series, Aspiring Comedians Checklist. This separates wannabes from real comedians. Ask someone who's been there. So far in this blogcast series, we've laid some solid groundwork for becoming a stand-up comedian. I've walked you through studying comedy, learning the lingo, reading joke books, watching pro stand-up, and even understanding what separates a killer act from a cookie-cutter one. But now it's time to do something scary, something bold, something that'll change your trajectory in the comedy world. You need to talk to a working comedian, and that's right. Not just read blogs about them, not just stalk their YouTube sets. You need to get up, get out, and go talk to them in real life, not on Reddit. This isn't just some networking trick. This is a rite of passage in your journey to become a comedian. In my previous articles in the Aspiring Comedians Checklist, I've covered watch stand-up shows to ignite your comedy passion. Study comedy styles to unleash your funny. Read stand-up comedy blogs to fuel your dreams. Stand-up videos to harden your funny bone. Get your jokeaholic fix. Addict's Guide to Joke Books. Speak Like Comedians. Decoding Terms, Part 1. Speak Like Comedians. Decoding Terms, Part 2. 10 Reasons to be Killed by Top Stand-Up Assassins. Step by Step to Stand Up, How to Be a Comedian. Comedy Gold, 7 Tips to Record Your Funniest Ideas. Tears and Triumphs in Comedians' Autobiographies. Peeping into stand-up comedy biographies. Why talking to comedians is so important. Here's the thing. Every successful comedian you admire today was once exactly where you are, uncertain, awkward, dreaming of making people laugh for a living. They didn't get good in a vacuum. They got better by being around other comedians, learning from them, watching them, asking questions. And now it's your turn. Getting out of your comfort zone and stepping into the real stand-up comedy world by talking to working comedians can shorten your learning curve, reveal insider tips about comedy clubs, comedy rooms, and open mics, teach you what not to do, connect with you to the comedy community, help you build friendships and potential mentorships, give you the feedback and thick skin you're going to need. Go where the comedians go. That means getting off your couch and physically showing up. Yes, even if you're shy, even if you don't know anyone, even if you're nervous, they'll laugh at you for all the wrong reasons. Start attending the following open mics. These are the entry-level training grounds for aspiring comedians. You'll meet others who are just getting started and those who've been grinding for years. Comedy rooms. These are often smaller venues that host curated shows run by comics. A great place to meet working comedians who aren't yet famous but are taking the craft seriously. Comedy clubs. Go see the pros in action. Watch how they structure sets. Interact with the audience and hang out afterward. Then talk to them. Tip. Do your homework on the comic you're hoping to talk to. Watch their set online or live. Know something about their style. Don't fanboy too hard, just show respect and real interest. Approach the right way and don't be a creep. Let's be clear. This is not a license to follow a comic into the bathroom and pitch your killer Chuck E. Cheese bit. This is not about cornering someone while they're eating chicken wings and telling them about your tight five. Here's how to not be creepy. Be casual and respectful. Show up regularly to the same comedy spaces. Be of service. Buy them a drink, help with a show, or promote their next gig. Match their energy and subtly mirror their body language to build comfort. Yes, this is a real rapport technique. Let them get used to seeing you around. If you're genuinely part of the comedy community and not just a one-night wannabe, they'll warm up over time. Don't try to impress them with your jokes. This is a big one. Unless they ask to hear something, don't do your routine at them. It's awkward. Most comics are already mentally rewriting your punchlines, and it's a turnoff. Instead, ask questions. Be genuinely curious. Focus on them, not yourself. If they're a strong comic and you're around long enough, they may even offer advice without you asking. But earn that moment. Don't force it. What makes a worthy mentor? You don't just want any comic giving you advice if their act is full of comics cliches, like starting their shows with, "How y'all doing tonight?" This is a sure sign they're on the road to Hackville and they'll take you with them. Comics cliches to notice and avoid. Verbal cliches. I know what you're thinking. How many people here fill in the blank, are married, went to college, in a relationship, drive a car? These questions are meant to bring up a topic, but sometimes the audience will want to discuss them. Speaking of fill in the blank, a funny thing happened on my way here. Learn them and avoid them like unsafe sex. Physical cliches. Leaning on the mic stand, smacking down the mic after a punchline, pacing back and forth and looking at the ground, bending toward the audience when delivering a punchline. Again, these are the things every comedian does because they have no original ideas. A mentor should inspire you to be your authentic self, not a copy and paste comic. If they rely on hack material or tired stage habits, you'll absorb those like secondhand smoke. They stink just as bad and may take years to wash out. Our on-demand courses are flexible, easy to follow, and packed with value. You can learn stand-up at your own pace. Start today at gregdeancomedyacademy.com. Questions to ask comedians and why. Here's a cheat sheet of solid questions that spark valuable conversations. What's the best way you handled a heckler? This is a must-have skill in comedy clubs and late-night comedy shows. Learn some heckler lines and tricks of the trade. Did you ever pull yourself out of bombing? Learn how they deal with crickets. Find out how they took a show that had gone south and turned it around. Which comic inspired you to become a comedian? Get insight into their roots and possibly discover new comics to study. Don't be surprised if they mention someone you've never heard of. What's the best joke or bit you've written? Anytime you can get a comedian to brag, you've started a conversation. This helps you hear their writing process and how they evaluate their own material. Did you have a mentor? Learn how mentorship shaped their path and how to seek out your own. Not all mentorships are done in person. Some are famous comedians they idolize. How do you develop a new joke or routine? Pick up real-world writing and testing methods from someone working in the trenches. If they have a coherence process or model, write it down and test it out. Did you almost quit, and why didn't you? Everyone thinks about quitting. Knowing their why they almost quit can prepare you for future discouragements. And why they continued being a comedian can help you deal with your own crisis, because it will happen. Have you ever pissed off an audience member? Learn what boundaries to be aware of and how to bounce back from crossing them. And you'll also get to hear a very funny story. Would you consider being a mentor? If you've built rapport over time, this can be the start of a deeper learning relationship. If you're interested in this person being your mentor, then find out if they're interested in being yours. How many times a week do you perform? See what commitment looks like in action. Should I do bringer shows? Get their take on this controversial comedy circuit rite of passage. Not all bringer shows are bad. If you get to be on the lineup and in the green room with a famous or your favorite comedian, it may be worth spending some of your audience currency. Have you ever produced your own shows? If opportunity doesn't knock, build a door. Learn how comics create opportunities when the gatekeepers won't open the doors. Find out how they did it. How did you get past the open mic phase? Discover milestones that help them level up and get booked. This is the kind of insight that can put your comedy career on a fast track. Do you like stories or one-liners? Most professional comedians have developed a specialty. See how style influences writing, performance, and career path. Be brave, be polite, be present. You won't become a stand-up comedian just by writing jokes in your bedroom. You must get into the comedy community. You must go where it's happening, shake hands, maybe fist bumps now, ask questions, and listen more than you talk. Real comedians appreciate it when a beginner is sincere, respectful, and motivated to grow. So don't be the guy bragging about your jokes. Be the one who's curious, kind, and committed. Final thought. This next step might feel terrifying, but fear has always been the gatekeeper of greatness. Stepping into the world of working comedians is one of the fastest, most real ways to evolve from a wannabe to a real player in the stand-up game. It's time to stop playing comedy in your head and start living it in the rooms where it happens. So go, show up, ask questions, buy the drinks, learn, laugh, repeat, especially the drinks. Laughter is contagious. Pass it on.